So I want to highlight some things about that. And the thing that I really want to highlight, something I've been trying to communicate to my own community and communities across the United States, and I don't think it's any different here, is the idea of balance, the concept of balance. Allah Azza wa Jal calls this ummah a balanced middle ummah, ummatan wasata. Surah Al-Fatiha is, from even a literary point of view, a remarkable picture of balance. Everything is balanced in that beautiful surah. And so what does that balance mean? Especially for the guys here, the men here. Some of you are married. You have responsibilities to your wives. You have a responsibility at work. You have a responsibility to your community. You have responsibilities to your children. You have responsibilities to yourself and your own well-being and your health. So you've got responsibilities all around. All of these different things are pulling at us. Every one of these things demands our time. And you know what happens to a lot of times to Muslims? They take one of those things and they give it all the time that it deserves, at the expense of other things that deserve their time. I'll give you an American example. You have, for instance, in the US, you have brothers that are very involved at the masjid. And a lot of times, not all the time, a lot of times, these same brothers are also having a really hard time at home. Their marriages aren't going very well. And that's the guy that says, you know what, I'm going to volunteer an extra few hours putting the chairs together for the program. No, brother, go home, take care of your marriage. The masjid needs your time, yes. You should be volunteering and helping out, but you have obligations to your family first. You have to take care of that. You know, our marriages are the key to society. You and I talk about bringing Islam to society. Society is only made up of families. If the family isn't in harmony, you can't talk about a society that is going to be in harmony. What is it that we're offering people is a religion of peace, tranquility. If you walk into your house, and from the moment you walk in, it's arguments and sarcasm and bickering and voices being raised. If that's all that's going on in your house, what are you and I going to be offering to the world outside? That world that's in chaos. So it has to begin at home. And it has to begin with us giving time to our families. It really does. And it's not just a rhetorical thing to say. You know, for me, for instance, I'm traveling here. This is the longest I've been away from home. This is now 3 days. It's going to be approaching 3 days tomorrow. I travel, you would think I travel a lot. I travel very little. I travel maybe 2 times a month, and at a time, maybe it's a day and a half that I'll travel. I'll leave on a Friday morning, be back by Saturday evening, and even that's very long, because I know my kids need my time. I need to have lunch with them, I need to have dinner with them, I need to spend time with them. That's part of my responsibility as a Muslim. And that's part of my responsibility in becoming a balanced individual. Because if that's not in balance, if that's not in focus, then there's something that's going to be missing in what I want to communicate to others about this deen, about this religion. So this idea of balance within your family. Then there comes balance between other Muslims. If your family situation is harmonious, it's going to have an impact on how you interact with Muslims in general. If you're miserable at home, there is no surprise you're the guy in the middle of all the fights at the masjid. It's not a surprise. You're a frustrated individual, it carries over to other aspects of your life. And that you're always angry, and you're not seen smiling. Alhamdulillah, most of the time when I meet Muslims here, even if they don't know me, I smile at them, they smile back. But then I meet a lot of those other guys. You walk into the masjid, you say, Assalamu alaikum, he just looks at you. He gives you that look of death. Like, what happened to you? Did you just come from the dentist or something? Or you don't want to show me your gold tooth? What is it? Why are you so angry? Right? What sunnah is that? I don't understand. You know? Or people sizing you up. You walk into the masjid, you're supposed to have a certain uniform on, you're supposed to look the same way. Anybody looks a little different, they're like... And then their deviant meter is gauging how deviant, how far from the deen they are, right? They're trying to figure out how deep in hellfire is this guy going, right? When you're frustrated at home, you become judgmental, sarcastic, you know, condescending to other Muslims. Bani Israel had that problem. Allah Azza wa Jalla talks about lots of problems of Bani Israel. The one that fascinates me, Allah talked about them killing each other. Can you imagine a Muslim? They were the Muslim ummah of that time. They're killing each other. Ha antum ulai wa haulai taqtuluna anfusakum wa tukhrijuna fariqan minkum min diyarihim. You're the same people that are killing your own selves. You continuously killed your own people and expelled them from their own homes. Your own people first you made them fariq. Surah Al-Baqarah tells us the word fariq, which comes from farq or fariq, something that's separated. So first in their rhetoric, in their khutbahs, in their talks, in their lectures, they said, that is a deviant group, stay away from them. They're going to the hellfire and they're calling to the hellfire. They're not right, they're not guided. So first they created a hatred for a group within the Muslims. And then when they created enough of that hatred, it opened the license for them to say, these guys are wajib al-qatl. I'm using our terminology, they must have used Hebrew back then, but that's essentially what they did. It's halal, their blood is halal on you now.